OpTic Gaming against 88 Chambers. The story of this event has been for the underdogs. Pell has a lot to prove. He did something big lately, Vincent. What was that?
Yes, he did. You heard Explosive mention it as well. Of course, Pell, the substitute for OpTic Gaming at the New York City regional event, came out and won his first event. And for me now, the big question is, how much has he learned, right? How much did he really learn from his time playing with OpTic Gaming?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I saw Pell there at that tournament, and he played amazing. And yet, Shock also fill in for Red Icy recently, and he did great. And I'll just speak from my personal experience. I played in a King of the Hill match one time at a playtest with OpTic Gaming, and my next scrim, I bodied everything. I mean, it's just that it wore off though. It definitely wears off. So has it worn off for Pell? It hasn't worn off for Shock yet. He's dominating this tournament. Has it worn off for Pell? We're going to have to wait and see.
So greatness sprinkled off on you a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
So
undoubtedly.
Hopefully it did the same with Pell. Trooper, is 88 Gaming have a chance with this being said?
It's going to be quite difficult for them, I think. After I watched them earlier in the Bravo stream against Allegiance, they had a lot that they were trying to struggle with. An interesting thing that I did note, they actually did win a lot of their initial fights, but did struggle to close out a lot of those rounds. So we're going to see if they can keep up a little bit of that momentum that they started to build earlier on.
Oh, definitely. First map, we're starting off on Dam, Immortal Spawn. What are the keys to the game? Yeah,
we're going to see a lot of focus on this B hill. There's a lot of routes that you can take there. What I like about Dam is on the opposite side of the map, there's this interesting fight at Hop Up. You can almost, take advantage of that fight, play for homes. So it's going to be a really interesting thing. Overall on this map, look for a lot of trip caps and dominations. It's a heavy domination map.
Oh, definitely. The story of the day is, can 88 Chambers make an upset with OpTic Gaming, or can OpTic Gaming prove their dominance? We're going to start this off on Dam.
I'm so excited for this one. Benson and Trooper bringing you all of the action. OpTic Gaming's first time on the main stage here at Dallas. Cannot wait to see the performance that they're going to give. And of course, for 88 Chambers, this is going to be a tough one, Trooper. Let's be honest.
Yeah, right now, as you can see on the overhead map, these teams are going to be spreading out right off the bat here, with Munchies, though, going over towards stairs. Here, going to running up on the long wall here for the pit here. He's getting caught here in a 1v1, getting crossed as well, getting hit from behind. That's the finish there from Kenny. And moving up there to get that kill is Summons to clean up Pell as well. Here, cutting back on the rotation here to B Hill to try and finish off this first fight.
Yeah, some good trades coming through. As you can see already, OpTic Gaming going straight for the throat, not wasting any time. Trip cap domination coming through. 88 Chambers scrambling now over towards the home hill. It will be Munchies that finds the pick on Summons. So for now, 88 Chambers do survive.
And A is still up for grabs right now. It looks like that they're fighting over it. It's only a moment away from OpTic Gaming until they have this domination. Not a good start already for 88 Chambers right now. As you can see, though, they are fighting. They are doing the best they can. But right there, 3 members now down for 88 Chambers, and OpTic Gaming looking to close this one out in just a few more seconds.
They are falling like dominoes, trying to get over to the A hill, and OpTic Gaming will secure round number 1. And of course, Billy, as always, showing so much emotion, obviously. I mean, oh, he smiled, there it is. One little wry smile comes out from Mental. And on the flip side, of course, for 88 Chambers, I think it was kind of seen in the pregame interview. Let's just say that not really expected to win this one. You're going up against as of right now, the best team in the game. It's always going to be very, very tough. For me, it's these moments that I know all of our analysts throughout the weekend have actually talked about it. Do you have maybe a trick, maybe some weapon placement you can put down, any kind of curveball to catch OpTic Gaming off guard? Explosive as well, he was saying, I expect these guys to really force those fights. To your point earlier on, Trooper, that's how 88 Chambers are going to play. They're going to play fast. The problem is you're playing fast now against some of the best players in the world.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially in the early going for all these maps. Main strategy for teams, as you can see there, Boltocs were placed down at the home hill spawns. Usually you're going to see either nades or Boltok or even a block placed in the opening rounds.
Right.
Usually right off the bat. A lot of teams maybe might want to mix it up, be a little bit more unorthodox, maybe placing a boom shot towards the end of the first half of the map, maybe just to throw things around, mix up a lot of the strategies that they would be expecting against OpTic.
Obviously, we've mentioned several times OpTic Gaming here in Dallas. They lose their first ever game in pool play in Gears of War 4, and I have a feeling that may have pissed them off a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I feel like that may have just fired them up a little bit more, and it could see them shift into a whole new level. We'll have to wait and see, of course. Starting off round number 2 on board with Explosive. We are at 12-second respawns, of course, here in our second round. The B hill is going to remain neutral, but as you would expect, it's OpTic Gaming picking up the kills.
And with every respawn, every second getting added to those respawn counts, with every round that goes on in this match, it's definitely going to be more difficult for 88 Chambers not winning these initial fights here and already getting sent back. Every second matters. batters here, trying to make the touch there on the home hill. And there you go again. OpTic Gaming cleaning up really, really quickly, almost trying to beat their record almost from that first round.
It's like a challenge now. It's a mini game within the game. How quickly can we end these rounds?
You definitely want to build up that momentum right now with your team, that confidence level really early on. And OpTic Gaming seems to never lose it. They always have it in any situation. And right now, it definitely is showing right here. As you can see, it looks like Flamesy thinking about trying to place snipers down here on the map. But what would be a smart thing to do would be using the extra time here to place the weapon, not being overzealous, not being too quick to decide here, rather than actually using this time as essentially maybe a small timeout for your team, trying to gather your thoughts, get things together, and what you're going to improve on this next round.
Completely agree. A sniper will be placed up top, and I like that play. You know, little aggressive there. It is worth mentioning, of course, 88 Chambers, a relatively new squad, a bit of a pickup team, if you will. So the fact they have made it to pool play is a testament to the individual ability. The problem is now you're going up against a team who've been, together for so long. Their teamwork is going to be there. 88 Chambers, they're not going to have that same chemistry just yet. And as it stands, a quick glance at that scoreboard really tells you the story in the slaying category. It's not that pretty right now for 88 Chambers.
And as we kick things off here on deck with Icy, he's going to be trying to push down through the smoke there. Momentarily got stunned and was able to clean up that kill on Godfections right there. Icy has a lot to prove here today as the last event that OpTic competed against. Obviously, they had to use a substitute in for Icy, but now Icy back in the original lineup here for OpTic and definitely wants to show up today.
Oh, he definitely does. He's been sat at home watching his teammates win an event without him. I'm sure that definitely lit the fire within himself. He knows he has to have a good event here. He has a big point to prove to many people out there that say, are you maybe, did your team even need you? If you're out here winning an event with Pell, ironically on 88 Chambers, does your team need you? I see already with 11 kills, making the point that yes, they do.
Absolutely, and with Pell playing with OpTic Gaming and now against them here in this match, as we see, it's definitely interesting, wondering, did Pell try and, share with his new squad any of those tendencies that OpTic might not, be as open with, trying to share a lot of strategies, maybe, the inside man secretly here trying to help out his team.
I joked about it when obviously Shock was playing with OpTic Gaming. I was like, if I was practicing with these guys, right, I would have a little notepad. I'd be writing down every little thing each one of them does. Not only will it help you improve, but it means if you ever play them in this kind of situation, you know what they're going to do. Obviously, for Pell, did he have time to do that? Probably not, because obviously it was a late pickup. But you've seen the success Shock has had with Allegiance, obviously. I mean, they look fantastic this event. As it stands, though, this round actually going a little bit further than the first couple. 88 Chambers staying alive, but it is OpTic Gaming in control. As you can see, a 2-1 hill advantage in their favor.
And Flamesy moving up now, trying to get that touch, barely getting in there on the B hill right before OpTic Gaming was able to get that cap. So now with A and C in control of each of the designated teams here for their home hills. That B still up for grabs. Flamesy going down there at the hands of Explosive. Explosive picking up a double kill there, killing Godfections as well. 4 members of 88 Chambers down, make that 5 now. And OpTic Gaming is only a few seconds away, make that 4 seconds from a swarm domination. They are just making this look easy.
Yeah, this is kind of what I'm sure many people realistically would expect when OpTic Gaming sit on that main stage. It's business as usual, and Icy's getting up, getting loud. Meanwhile, on the other side of 88 Chambers, it's some smiles, of course, just enjoying their time on the main stage.
I personally believe it. The loudest team wins in Gears of War. You got to keep that energy level up, even if you're losing. Make sure that your team is all on the same page. You don't want anyone to get too quiet. Everyone needs to be communicating, making those calls out, making all the shots, count exactly where they need to be. But coming into this, against OpTic Gaming, going down 3-0 that quick, it's much to be expected against OpTic, maybe having a slow start. But if you can at least hang on for a few more rounds, going into the halftime with at least 1 or 2 rounds under your belt, you definitely can set yourself up for a big turnaround in the second half.
Absolutely. There, of course, a look at Summons, arguably the best home hill player in the game. Boomshot is placed here. Maybe you would have liked to see 88 Chambers go at that last round, maybe try and put it down instantly. You can create a little bit of chaos down here on the bottom side of Dam. We'll see who's going to be able to walk away with it. And I can tell you, if 88 Chambers do get their hands on here, they may actually be able to take a couple of rounds. Looking at Munchie's perspective, he will fall. And sadly for 88 Chambers, it's OpTic Gaming once again doing the same. But Godfection actually picks up a nice double. And that should keep the boom on the ground for now.
Yeah, and you mentioned chaos, and that's exactly what OpTic Gaming is best at, that controlled chaos style from them. Everything that they do together meshes so well, and sometimes seemingly unpredictable in the way that they make their plays. So right here, you can see it's definitely taking its toll right now on 88 Chambers as a whole. Godfection's in a bad spot, but able to get out of there with the boom shot, luckily. With 2 members now down for OpTic, great position here for 88 Chambers to make a move. Godfection's now swapping switching the weapons there, handing off the boom shot here to Fazio here. Fazio actually leading 88 Chambers mainly as one of their top slayers on the team. So as you can see, putting that boom shot to great use there on Summons.
And I will say, DeFazio is a fantastic young talent. I've been casting this guy now for over a year. First met him over a Canada event. I can tell you, in terms of his individual ability, it's phenomenal. I actually said it earlier on in the day when we were talking about this squad. Reminds me a little bit of Enable, right? Obviously, Enable, a champion in several different titles. DeFazio has what it takes in terms of his individual ability. There's no doubt about that. Just he needs to find himself maybe on a more solid team, I guess, or a solidified team. He was a late pickup to this team. Yep. You need to have that consistency, in my opinion.
Yeah, and you know the way it goes with every team and all these rosters and everything. After every event, depending on how you place, you guaranteed usually if you don't place high in the money, you're going to probably make a roster change or two. But a lot of the time, that success does not happen overnight. What a lot of people really were looking for. So you got to take your time and basically, you know, use it as a stepping stone. You use it as a learning point that you can watch the VODs from the event that you just played. Even if you didn't place very well, use that and just try to fix every mistake you have and try to work on things. That's the only way you're ever going to improve.
Completely agree. Pell has his hands on the sniper rifle. Comes for a shot, whiffs it a little bit. Another one. A little unfortunate timing there as he looks and searches for his 4th kill. Meanwhile, the rest of his team on the other side of the map, they all fall. Summons as he picked up a nice double. Pell and Flamesy still left up, and Flamesy, you can see now trapped between so many players from OpTic Gaming. Mental's going to shut him down, and OpTic Gaming are steamrolling through this round now. They should get control. The pressure comes on for the trip cap. Pell now against his old team from a few weeks ago. Manages to make his way over towards the home hill. Will break it for now, but it's Explosive versus Pell. You know Explosive's going to feel confident about this one.
And Pell being smart there, staying patient, staying in the hill, actually trying to make sure that he capped it long enough. But as he started to get cross, had to make the move into the back of the truck, as you see. Now he's in a 2-on-1 situation and beautifully gets that down there on the far shot with the shotgun. And now taking down the second kill there. Pell, the breakout player of this year, I believe, is making a name for himself in this tournament.
That was beautiful play. Just kind of showed a little bit of experience there. Didn't panic in a 1 versus 2 and keeps his team alive in the game. And to be honest, that's exactly why OpTic Gaming picked him up a few weeks ago.
Yep. And with the way that the shotgun you have to wait for your shots about 1 second every time you pull the trigger. It's definitely smarter to not keep pulling the trigger as much as possible. Take your time. Aim with your left trigger, as he did there. He set up the shot, he lined it up perfectly, and it worked out for him. Icy, though, getting caught at the B hill there. As you can see this fight now getting underway here, trying to make sure that these teams can get position here on the top side of the map.
And this is where, if you're 88 Chambers, you got to make a play, right? You get a couple of kills in quick succession, you have the numerical advantage, take control of the map, and that's exactly what they do. Currently a 2-to-1 hill advantage, and 88 Chambers in the lead in points. The question, though, will they be able to slay out OpTic Gaming one more time to potentially solidify this round? Pell, again, still with sniper rifle in his hand. He knows the push from the green wall is coming in. They're going to be heading over towards the B hill. Pell wisely backs away, but Summons draws first blood to this initial potential final attack. Munchies go down. Icy looking for more. Confections in front of him. Icy makes light work of him. DeFazio now left defending the home hill, and he will manage to pick up the kill on Icy. But again, the trade's coming through. OpTic Gaming going for the push.
And DeFazio right now is stuck here by himself. Getting taken out by Explosives immediately there as we cut to him. 4 members down now for 88 Chambers, and this is a chance here. Munchies has to try and stay alive here, but I don't think it's going to be enough. There he goes, getting plastered there by Mental, and OpTic is now up on a quick 4-0.
And there are those rounds that are just so brutal to lose, right? You have control. The game is well in your hands. At OpTic Gaming, they make the push on B. They immediately collapse on their home hill. They neutralize. They push off the hill. They slay out, and then they go for the trip cap domination. Just a very box standard OpTic Gaming play right there. Works out to perfection.
Yeah, and it seemed that the boom shot was almost a non-factor on that round. Things happened so fast there that OpTic Gaming really just made quick work of everything there and held their positions long enough there. Right now, as you can see, though, we're going to be on deck here to start off with Munchies, who is mainly the shot caller here for 88 Chambers. So if his team is going to be doing anything, they might as well be following suit for him. He is actually going to be looking like he's following down now towards the south part of the map to try and cover that boom shot here. And with Dam being such a wide open map, it is definitely a little bit tougher to place those boom shots effectively rather than being on a much tighter map, say as Foundation, for example.
Stands OpTic Gaming 4-0 up. The kills come through. Mental picks up a nice double to kick things off this round. Looking for more. Of course, Pell will be directly in front of him. Icy has the boom fight. The first one missed it. Mental finds his 3rd kill of the round. Can he make it 4? DeFazio could be in some trouble. That's your Season 1 MVP. Nicely played from Mental. His 18th kill in just 4 rounds of gameplay, and immediately makes his way over towards 88 Chambers home hill.
Mental was absolutely deserving of that MVP honor last season. As you can see right there, he is now being right in position here stoic, standing there ready for the push. They don't even get out in time. That's a 5-0. And man, we are getting through this game very quickly right here. And I wonder if 88 Chambers has anything up their sleeve here, even going into the second half, as we have on Dam, the way that this map is set up, the home hill's not moving, only the mid hill moving, and going to be switching down after the next round, potentially, to the center of the map.
And here's the problem, right? Boomshot was placed down low, so essentially you've had your entire second half fight for the past 4 or 5 rounds now, so there's not really that many trick plays you can make, right? I guess the best thing 88 Chambers could do is theoretically put Boomshot at the top of the map, but at that point, you're not even gonna have the chance, right? If you go 6-0 down in the first half, you don't get a weapon placement, right? You have to then win every single round, so realistically, this is a huge round right here for 88 Chambers. You go 6-0 down, I mean, if you go 5-0 down, 4-0 down, it's tough. Especially against OpTic Gaming and OpTic. They're cruising through. Explosive picks up a double. Mental picks up a kill. Pell, last man alive. He does shut down one, but that's about all he's going to get. And OpTic Gaming now surely will go 6-0 up.
And the initial fights here, not only are they being won by OpTic Gaming, but every member of 88 Chambers is dying in almost quick succession, almost simultaneously. As you can see right there, someone's having some fun here now with the quick 6-0 lead here. We're switching sides. All the weapons are wiped off the map. So we're going to see if this is going to maybe help 88 Chambers at least a little bit here, trying to build some semblance of momentum here going into the second half.
If 88 Chambers come back and win, I'll give you $1,000.
Oh, I'm going to hold you to that, absolutely. And it's live on stream, so you can't,
I will.
You can't go back on that now. We could see Summons. He's clearly having fun. Everybody is on OpTic right now.
Look at that. The kill con. We talked for so long about how, kills aren't always the most important thing. And to be honest, they're not, right? Kills can be situational. But at the end of the day, you're playing a shooting game, right? If the other team's dead 5 times as much as you are, you're probably going to be able to get a few more hills than they will. And that really is the story of this one. OpTic Gaming just simply outslaying, simply out-rotating 88 Chambers. And it just shows you just how high quality, how top tier this Green Wall squad really is.
And as you saw on that scoreboard...
Am I about to owe you $1,000? OpTic, are you throwing because you want to see me waste $1,000? Is that what's going on?
Fazio was able, though, to make that push, though, there with his teammate Pell actually taking out that kill there on Kenny B now. And it looks like 88 Chambers all of a sudden has all the momentum in their favor here. Suddenly, OpTic is falling apart here. Mental getting taken out. Summons actually taken out. Got Fections in the scramble there. Munchie's still alive, but gets taken out from the cross in the spawn. It looks like they're going to be able to regroup just in time before that trip cap. Only a few seconds away from you coughing up $1,000.
It's only one round, okay? Only one round. They're going to win plenty more. But as it stands, OpTic Gaming is still in full control. Yes, a momentary lapse of concentration, but you can see how well they recover, right? As soon as the pressure's coming through from 88 Chambers, they're cool, calm, collected, they're composed, and they managed to break themselves out of a sticky situation. Now that the problem that OpTic do have is 88 Chambers have been able to build themselves quite a sizable lead, to be honest with you. 75 points to 37. However, they are down 2 hills to just a 1.
And that definitely comes down to these 1v1s because you want to spread yourself out here. You don't want to keep dying, like I said, all simultaneously, giving them that window to get the trip cap super fast. If you guys spread out, though, the 1v1s are the most important part. There, though, it's a 2-on-1 situation. Summons is able to finish no problem there, as 2 members of Chambers were actually not able to push in to the top side of the map. Now, with only Fazio alive, never mind, getting taken out. And now with multiple members coming out of spawn, I don't believe they're going to make it in time. OpTic Gaming only 1 second away. There it is, 7-0, your first map.
Well, my money's safe. That's the pro right there. OpTic Gaming, of course. I mean, that's what you expect in a game like this. They can shift into a completely different gear. Mental, your Season 1 MVP, finishes that with 20 kills. Icy right behind him with 18. Summons right behind him with 16. A phenomenal performance from the Green Wall.
I didn't have enough time for a bathroom break. So, Immortal's fun with that dominance from OpTic Gaming. I mean, can we kind of brush the loss against the Legions under the rug yet?
I absolutely think you can. I mean, for OpTic Gaming, I do see them. This is day 2. This is a long tournament, and come on, it's the Green Wall here. They're here to play. I think that loss may have actually helped them for this event. I honestly do.
Yes. Now, also, 88 Chambers, they took a bad L.
A bad L?
What can they learn from this game?
Well, the way that they played earlier throughout the tournament, it looked like that they had a lot of things that were working for them, at least for the most part. But coming into this game, I don't think anything, obviously, right off the bat, things started falling apart for them. And when that happens so quickly to a team like OpTic that's at the top of the ladder, it's definitely something that, might get to your heads a little bit. And you might start to, second guess yourself, which is exactly what they want. And if that already happens, if you start to do that, you've already lost.
Definitely. Now, were there any flashes of brilliance from this 88 Chambers team?
I mean, I really like Pel's play. To be honest, that 1v2 on his home hill was very well played. I mean, he took his time. You know, he managed to get a good shot onto explosive and realized, hey, I may actually have the advantage in this 1v2. I really played off that good spacing. Just very cool, calm, and collected.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing I'll point out, just what you see from OpTic is sort of taking advantage of the space that's given to them, but backing away. There was an early round on Dam where they had the B set up with the Lancers, and as 88 Chambers started to push, OpTic started to back up and just started to keep their composure and keep the numbers and keep that distance, and that's a key thing in Gears of War.
And I'm really happy you brought that up. Kenny Bounce of OpTic Gaming. A lot of people said he fell off, but his gameplay is extremely smart. He walks around with the Lancer. What does he do for his team?
I'll tell you, if Kenny fell off, he hit a trampoline. He way to back up because I don't even think he ever did fall off. If anyone said he did, I don't think they were watching it all throughout Season 1, to be frank, because he does that dirty role for the team, right? It's something that, Vel, you were talking about extensively yesterday. He does that role, which really requires you to be so selfless, right? You have to just kind of take one for the team and be like, you know what, guys, you run around, you do you, right? I'll support you guys. I'll do the dirty work. I'll fill in. And to his credit, he has no issue doing that. Some players are too egotistical. They're like, nah, I have to be the stat guy. I have to be the guy getting the World Star plays. I got to be the flashy guy getting tweets on MLG account or Esports Gears account. But nah, Kenny, he doesn't mind that. Kenny, he just does that role so damn well.
So let's see if the storyline continues. If 88 Chambers can continue.
But Explosives was there to pick up the kill on Godfections, who was able to take out Mental in that situation. And now it doesn't look like Flamesy's even ready there. He was trying to make a cross there. Looks like stuck now out in no man's land here, and he has to backtrack all the way through the spawn to regroup with his team, as still all the hills are up for grabs.
Yeah, no one actually kept their home hill there. They went straight for that 5v5, and as it stands, of course, 10-second respawn. So the players that actually died initially will be back in that fight. Explosive, though, doing explosive-like things, helping out his teammate Kenny down low. Mental, meanwhile, he picks up a big double, obviously continuing where he left off in number 1. Finally, the B hill will be under OpTic Gaming control. Now the question, will they collapse over towards C? You see, Pel's made a really heads-up play here, overextends over towards the A hill, puts himself in a great position, but will reveal he reveals his location. Now, I'm not sure whether he necessarily needed to do that, but puts some good shots down, and ultimately his teammate gets the kill.
Yeah, and as you can see, Pel trying to save his teammate there, throwing the smoke, actually a beautiful smoke, and actually puts himself out there, sacrificing almost, trying to stun his teammate, or his opponents there to save his teammate, but they both get taken out in the process there. So right here, Explosive, though, getting wiped out by Flamesy as he's getting a little bit more aggressive here, usually playing support for this team, but as you can see, head down, trying to make a play here against Icy, but he says shut it down.
Oh, and Icy just takes his time, holds his shot well, and Godfection will pay the price. 59 points to 29, OpTic Gaming in the lead. The B hill, however, is neutral, so just a one-on-one for hill control. Looks as if OpTic could decide to push home street if they want to, potentially put some pressure down on CB. You can see 2 players from 88 Chambers. They've wrapped back to their home hill, 2 players over towards Fountain as they wait for their 5th man to come off spawn.
Yeah, definitely. This opening round definitely taking a little bit of time here. I wouldn't be surprised to see with these early respawn times, you know, that you don't have, you basically just wave after wave coming into the zones, trying to stop the trip cap domination, coming in quick and making sure that they at least can get position and not give up too much ground.
And what's really important to that point is 88 Chambers can't do that. They can't just fly off spawn just aimlessly, because that's what OpTic Gaming want, right? OpTic Gaming is going to win those gunfights 9 times out of 10. So for 88 Chambers, you almost have to play this as if it is a 20-second respawn round, play it slow, go for one good team push, make it work, and then take control of the map.
Yeah, absolutely. And it also shows, you know, maybe more old school Gears players, maybe that were more you know, in line with playing Gears 1, that played Gears 2, that were execution style players.
Right.
When it gets later into escalation with those 20 seconds, sometimes if you go to the 6-6 round, then 22-second respawns.
Yeah.
Your life is so important. A lot of those old school players really do value their lives because with execution, the one life to live. Here, as with the respawn timer extending so much, it definitely comes into play.
I mean, 22 seconds. You die in a round 13, chances are you're not coming back up, right? Chances are that round's going to be done because teams will just collapse on you. This one, though, OpTic Gaming, 187 to 97. It looks as if this round could be all but over. Flamesy's going to drop. Someone's doing a good job making sure no one sneaks through, no one's overextending. He has the mid-map cross as well. Kenny's there to support that. And honestly, OpTic Gaming now with 2-1 hill advantage. I would be mind blown if they throw this round away.
Yeah, and you know, coming into the first major here, it's definitely, like we said earlier, OpTic, maybe it was good for them to actually lose early on in the tournament because now they know it's all business from here. They know exactly the bar that they have set, and they cannot let anybody surpass that, especially in the early going here.
That's the problem, right? If you're any other team here and you see OpTic Gaming lose to Allegiance, you think, okay, that's a good thing. It shows they're beatable, right? It shows they're beatable. The problem is, it kind of forces shift into that other level. Obviously, Rob talked about it, Mortal Spawn talked about it during that brief space we had between map 1 and map 2. It really does kind of make them play that much better because they're like, oh, we lost? All right, let's prove a point to literally everyone. We're not losing again. Absolutely. It turns them into scary, scary players.
And you know, when OpTic lost that game, they went back to their hotel, they regrouped, they strategized to be a fly on the wall in that room to know exactly what was said. You know it got them in the right mindset. Right there, mental. Picking up the quick double kill there and making sure his teammate was able to secure those instants in the center of the map. And right here, Mental is just going insane. An explosive was there to help him clean up that kill. I really didn't doubt Billy was able to pick up that one by himself, but as you can see, all the help is definitely needed here for 88 Chambers. Coming in here, getting just steamrolled right at the moment here. All 3 hills are about to be in possession for OpTic, but now with a couple more members of 88 Chambers still coming out of spawn here, they might be able to hang on just a little bit longer.
And that's fantastic play from Defazio, just consistently resetting the hill through the smoke grenades. If he can find a couple of picks as well, that would be massive for his team. He gets behind enemy lines, but Summons is having absolutely none of it. OpTic Gaming again putting the pressure on the trip cap. No one from 88 Chambers is able to overextend. Oh, no, they are actually. Wow. A really, really smart play. Who was that? Pell. Doesn't surprise me that it's Pell. Pell's been the one player from 88 Chambers who has been making those good decisions. He always to B, he'll neutralizes it, keeps his team in the game.
And you wonder, maybe Pell knew a strategy that was starting to form there for OpTic, something maybe that he recognized and knew, hey, there's an opening right now at that B hill. I'm going to use that opportunity to take that. Was able to sneak in the back door seemingly there, and right before they were able to get that trip cap to go up 2-0, was able to shut it down. Right here, you could see though, OpTic well in the lead here in points, still under control of that middle hill and their home hill. So 88 Chambers though, still kind of building a little bit more confidence here, holding that A hill. They're not out of this yet. As you can see now, 2 more members of 88 Chambers are actually posted up, trying to help their 3rd member down there in this cross for this middle hill.
Fazio was able to shut down 1. Now looking at the explosive screen, of course, OpTic Gaming there, just defending that B hill. Don't want to allow 88 Chambers to collapse on it just yet. Unfortunately, their mental will go down. It's Munchies that cleans that up, and to their credit, a good push comes through Group B, but look at what's happened to the other side of the map. Summons, overextends, puts pressure on the home hill, and keeps it at a 1-to-1 hill game. Really, really smart play from him.
And look at that. They're just being patient, backing up, trying to put on these damage shots here from those members of 88 Chambers stuck in that little nest there, but they were able to fight through.
And there's one thing I want to point out about that play from Summons, right? Too many players in that situation would stay on the hill and cap the hill, right? They'll be like, oh, I'm going to keep us a 2-to-1 hill advantage. Summons recognizes, hey, we have a huge lead. If it's 1-to-1, we're both getting the same amount of points. I can just decap, which takes less time, obviously, than going for a full cap, and then push out to get maybe a quick kill, etc., etc. So really, really good play coming from him. That is what separates him from the likes of your semi-pro players.
Absolutely, and if you're OpTic at this point, you're so high up in the score right now, you can just use your strength in numbers, keep your team all the way on your home hill side, and just basically build a wall, green wall, so to speak, around that ring to keep out your opponents. All they need to do is hold that home hill. They got this round locked up, and as you can see, if 88 Chambers is not able to make that push across the map, they're not going to be able to stop us in time. But they also have to get the B hill as well, so I think this is also going to wrap up in favor of OpTic Gaming.
Yeah, 100%. Nicely done from OpTic.
As you can see, they're just picking up kill after kill here. This is just insane right now. They are really feeling themselves at the moment. Flamesy, though, still not ready to go down, picking up a double kill there at the end to try and build something there for his team, trying to get himself in gear.
OpTic Gaming, all smiles on the main stage. Of course, this is where they feel most at home, that's for sure. Playing fantastically thus far. Meanwhile, look at 88 Chambers again, back to the drawing board. They get another weapon placement, and this is where, again, I want to see them get creative. Boom shot statue, I love that play. Force chaos, and if you do walk away with the advantage, you will win the round more than likely. It's very rare if you do get control of a boom shot and you get a couple of kills. You should be able to collapse on that home hill.
Yes, definitely, and putting the grenades at the top of the map near pistons, and then also putting the boom shot at the opposite end of the map near statue, it's going to open things up definitely for these teams. It's going to make you wonder, where is the majority of the momentum going to go? Where is all the gunfights going to really be taking place? Are they going to be more shifting over towards the center, or are they going to want to stay near that B hill? Definitely towards the B hill, but you're going to have to keep your eyes peeled for that boom shot. It's going to only be seconds away from attack.
Honestly, if I'm at 88 Chambers, I just say, you know what? Let's just go for boom. Just dedicate all 5 men to it. You literally may as well. Defazio, he's going to be first down to mid. He's going to have a couple players in front of him. An explosive says peekaboo through the smoke grenade. Finds a very easy first pick. Now Pell left in 1 versus 2. You got mental and explosive running at you. Trust me, that's a scary, scary thing. Manages to actually stay alive somehow, but Icy read the play like a book. Boom still on the ground. Icy, is he going to go for it? Just baiting out a couple of shots. Flamesy and Gotfection, however, do pick up a double of their own. And Munchie shuts down Icy as well. Boom again, still on the floor. This could be the chance for 88 Chambers.
3 members down of OpTic Gaming. That might have been almost the first or second time that has happened in this entire match, that many players of OpTic were dead at the exact same time. But you can see now they're bouncing back. Mental picking up a nice kill there on Gotfections with 2 members now of 88 Chambers pushing up. Look at this, getting aggressive. Mental, though, was the one being a little bit too aggressive there as he pushes up at the wrong time. Fazio getting that quick kill, and you could see Summons, though, the one that was able to finally secure that boom shot.
And I love that because Mental actually pushed out 2 plays of 88 Chambers. They were so focused on killing Mental and making sure he didn't make that hero play. Someone's recognized, hey, I've got a couple of seconds now. I can go for a quick pick and pull the boom away. Good pick from him. Unfortunately, though, I believe he just missed that first shot, so not the best usage, but it's okay. We'll forgive him. Gotfection's looking to try and force it. Of course, doesn't want to fire it just yet. Icy there in support, so he's going to pull out the shotgun cleave. But the first one rolls back. Can he find the second? No, he can't. Flamesy shuts it down.
Flamesy making it look easy there, as you can see, though, in a bit of a bind here, trying to put in these shots to cross-help his teammate, but he was not able to do so. Icy now in this 1-on-2 situation, but is not able to finish on that one. Flamesy, though, bouncing around there, trying to avoid all the shots he can there, and is doing the most right here at the B hill, trying to make sure there isn't this trip cap domination. They still, if you notice, 88 Chambers doesn't have a single point yet in this round.
I just realized. 112 to 0. OpTic Gaming, trip cap domination coming through. Mental, another double kill. Defazio, he is going to go down.
He just smoke tagged him.
Okay, that's Kenny.
That happened.
Didn't your parents teach you not to be a bully? Okay, that's just plain mean.
Oh my goodness, this is ridiculous.
When you're
right
that
now.
good, like, come on, man.
You can see, obviously, now it's coming out in their gameplay. They're having a ton of fun right now, and you do not want OpTic to be acting like this. Mental just going off at the end there, sending that last player, pushing in to 88 Chambers right back to respawn there, ending this round, securing another victory.
I want to point out something really, really important to maybe some of the new viewers watching Gears of War Esports for the very first time. The stuff that you're seeing, OpTic Gaming do, the likes of Explosive, even someone's Mental right there to close that round, they make it look so easy, but I can promise you it's so damn difficult to do. It's almost as if time slows down for Mental when he's in those situations where there's multiple players. It literally as if time does stop. But I promise you, I urge you, if you're new to Gears of War, go ahead and play it. See if you can do what these guys do, because I promise you, they make it look so damn simple.
The practice, the dedication that this team puts in, especially to stay at the top of the mountain as long as they have, it definitely shows a lot in their gameplay. And a lot of that muscle memory that's built in, they are so used to just dominating on the map. And a lot of these situations, they come second nature to them. A lot of the stuff, they don't even have to think about. It just happens.
I will say, if OpTic Gaming have a successful Season 2 like Season 1, they will go down in history as the most successful console esports team ever. And I think you could make an argument for the most successful esports team ever.
And they are definitely going to be in that conversation. I completely agree with you on that. Mental now, though, bouncing around that boom shot, trying to get that win there. And unbelievable. Gotfections was able to turn around, make that kill happen right there as another member of OpTic goes down. That's actually 3 members down for OpTic, make that 4. 88 Chambers now subtly in the driver's seat here, looking like they're going to make that push on the side now. All 5 were down. Explosive, the only man, actually the first man to spawn, he is going to book it all the way over to that C hill, throwing the smoke in, and he might actually, looks like he's going to back off a little bit, getting shot in the back, has to regroup there as he is getting shot from behind. But now, with his teammates coming out of spawn, it looks like they're able to clean out the mess there at the C hill, and just in time, able to stop 88 Chambers from getting that trip cap. You could see Fazio, though, securing that boom shot.
Now, you see, here was the problem I had with that play, and I would love to hear Immortal Spawn break that down, right? Because you actually had the rare occasion where 88 Chambers win the initial. Defazio grabs boom. The problem was, when they had 5 players down, Defazio with boom went to B. I feel like you need to trust someone else to do that 1v1. If he had boom at OpTic Gaming's home hill, that could have been a trip cap domination.
Yes, definitely, right there. And, spreading it out way too much. He took it completely to the opposite end of the map.
And look what happens now.
It's just coming down to this right now, as you can see. The points, though, just about neck and neck here. So 88 Chambers is still in this game, but still, at any moment, they can lose these fights monumentally and then end up all waiting to respawn again, all 5 down, and that's not something that they want to have to worry about. So right here, trying to keep position here. As you can see now, Pell going to be trying to utilize that Torque the best he can, getting down, though, as he's charging it up. And as he's down, he's waiting for his teammate to win the 1v1, but he couldn't. Explosive just sending Gotfections back to the Shadow Realm on that one.
Oh, it's fantastic. That's a double for him, and the pressure comes through with the trip cap. Hello, Summons. How you doing, bud? Your smokes go out, and that should be that for this round. 4-0. And that's a prime example. A prime example, if you have an advantage, if a top team gives you a slither of hope, you have to take it, because if you don't, they will come back. They will have opportunities, and then more than likely, they will then take those opportunities themselves.
Yes, definitely. And here, still in the first half of this match, it's going to be, pretty exciting to see if 88 Chambers is going to place anything more aggressively down on the map. But right now, looks like Hammerburst are being placed at the home hills currently, or actually, excuse me, at the fountains and at Welding right now, before the home hills actually switch up. So I wonder exactly which player is going to be the one utilizing that Hammerburst the best way. Most likely, the support player, Flamesy, will probably be trying to utilize that in the best way here for 88 Chambers.
There's a look at your scoreboard. Mental, again, dropping 20. Explosive, not too far behind him himself. 17 for him. OpTic Gaming, again, just continuing the slaying category. Just a dominant performance. It's 11 rounds in a row now they've won without 88 Chambers able to respond
team kill
whatsoever. You're right, the team kill comes through. That's going to be 2 players down for OpTic Gaming, but 4 down. It's down to DeFazio to try and make the hero play. Boom's, of course, been picked up. DeFazio not going to be able to shut down Summons. That's 5 players dead. OpTic Gaming will spread the map, and that should be a 5-0 lead.
Well, if they can't kill OpTic Gaming in these gunfights, at least they can kill each other. That's something. That's a win, and maybe, I don't know. But right now, Explosive, though, holding down the boom shot, waiting just to shoot while they're running into spawn, not in position. And as you can see, that stoic look for Mental again. He is ready to play.
And again, it's such a little small play right there from Explosive. He holds his shot that extra second, and you see the players from 88 Chambers thinking he's going to boom, and they pull away, which means they can't break the hill.
Yep.
And exactly. Explosive knows, if I find my boom now, they won't be able to touch the hill. We'll get the trip cap domination. So
extremely smart play right there. And as you can see, though, we are 1 round away going into the half, though. But going into the half, potentially with another 6-0 lead here for OpTic. So let's see if 88 Chambers has anything in their back pockets here. Looks like the block being placed now down at Pistons area. So it's going to make that fight, it's still a very important fight, obviously. But you're going to want to make sure that you have at least some attention down to the middle of the map. Make sure that that boom shot doesn't get swept up by OpTic, because you're already going to be with a disadvantage right off the bat.
We've had some fantastically close games, so many game 3s throughout the day, and then OpTic Gaming come on the main stage, say, nah, the big dogs are here now. Let me show you how it's done. 7-0 map number 1. They're 5-0 up here as well. They are putting on a clinic, and they're having fun, and they're really showing you why this team is the best in the world. 4 go down. Flamesy's down as well. 5 down. OpTic Gaming again will spread and split the map. Another trip cap domination surely coming through in a 20-second respawn round. As I said, an absolute clinic here from OpTic Gaming.
And before you can even gather your thoughts, that is just another round in the books there for OpTic. So right now, 1 round away from a clean sweep, 14 rounds in a row.
What was that high five? I'm not sure if you guys picked up on that as well, but Icy just puts 2 fingers out to Ashley. Ashley's like, yeah, 2 fingers, dude. That's funny. I remember, was it Icy? It may have been Icy that went for a high 5. I think maybe in Mexico. And someone hit his hand really, really hard. And he was like, ow, that really hurt. He started shaking his hand. So maybe OpTic Gaming have adapted the 2-finger touch, the 2-finger tap right there.
Yeah, you want to take care of your hands. You definitely don't want to be putting them in harm's way right now. So there you go. Exactly. You got to be ready for that. And here we go, gearing up right now, as most of the players now funneling down here into the center of the map. We're following Explosives on deck, able to recuperate from that smoke. And then as soon as he does, quick kill there on Fazio, pushing back more members of 88 Chambers up to the statue's side. It looks like Icy overstepping a little bit there, getting taken down. Mental trying to save him, but Confections looked like he was able to get a quick double kill, getting down right before he can. That is some beautiful cross action there by OpTic.
And OpTic Gaming, you're forcing 88 Chambers to play this scrappy. It seems like teamwork has almost gone out the window at this point. They're trying to force individual 1v1s now. DeFazio has to break the hill for the game. Summons is going to shut it down. The hill will be broken. Confections flies through Summons, and for now, 88 Chambers stay alive.
And you can't even let the score get to you right now if you're 88 Chambers. Play this round like it's round 1. Even though the respawns are obviously increased, you have to just play with the exact same passion right as this game starts. You had all the confidence in the world, I'm sure, when it was 0-0. Make sure that you still have that now. Believe that you can come back. Even though it is something completely insurmountable, seemingly, it's something that you just have to feel, or you absolutely are going to get wiped out.
I've been very vocal about why comebacks are so rare in Gears of War, right? It's so tough that the second a team gets to match point, if you're going to make a comeback, they have every single weapon placement. They decide what goes on the map and where it goes as well. Comebacks are just so rare. I mean, the highest we've seen at an event is a 6-3 comeback, which is actually impressive when you think about 4 rounds in a row. But if we ever saw a 6-0 comeback, especially against OpTic Gaming, I'd be absolutely mind-blown.
It would probably be the most shocking match that ever took place in Gears Esports.
Oh, without a doubt.
If that went
Without a
down.
doubt.
But right here, it could be in the making right now. You never know. Let's see if 88 Chambers is able to try and get something going here, though, as they're trying to push through. Kenny is just in the perfect position. He has been playing an amazing support role this match, actually getting mostly breaks, no caps really, and getting a lot of kills in the process.
Problem is his teammates are already capping her quicker than he can even get there. Because they're winning their gunfights just that fast. Munchies, he's going to fall. Kenny was able to shut that down. He immediately gets traded by Flamesy. Now Flamesy on the hill. Nice double from him. Shut down Mental. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Pell shuts down Icy. Now could be your chance. 88 Chambers fly over towards the home hill. That's what Pell is doing. Do they have resources over towards E? That's the question. A couple of players seem to be breaking. There's going to be a big 1v1 on the other side of the map. But this is where the majority of the fight is going to happen. Mental versus Pell. That's going to be the first fight we'll see. Mental forced to back away. But look at that smart play from OpTic Gaming. They read the play like a book. They overextend to 88 Chambers home hill. F now under control of OpTic Gaming. That is what makes them so darn good. Amidst the chaos, they are still so composed.
And as you see, the round count now getting all the way up to 200 right here. OpTic only has to hold one hill, and they have the victory here, no problem. And that's what they're going to do. Capping that D hill, F goes down. Looks like 88 Chambers is trying to spread out as much as they can, but it looks like they are now out of time, and that will do it. 14-0 over the course of these two maps.
It was what, like a 30-minute series? it was pretty quick.
If your stream had to buffer, you probably missed the game.
OpTic Gaming showing us why they're the best in Gears of War 4 right there. A solid performance, but realistically a performance I think many people expected of.
Oh yes, definitely. OpTic Gaming showed us why. Once again, they are one of the best teams in the game. Immortal Spawn, what makes this team so special, and who does it best?
Anybody can pick it up. Mental does it best.
Okay.
Obviously, that goes without saying. Explosive, obviously picking it up. Summons showing, a lot of life out there. But Kenny, we want to talk about a little bit in terms of, his role and things like that. You always need a player that can just come in and smoke tag somebody in the middle of a match, because you need to give credit to that guy. No, but overall, like, a successful team always has that person that they understand their role in transitions, that flex player. And Kenny does a lot of that thing. Successful teams recognize that thing. It doesn't show up on the stat column, like you say. He's a beast, man. He can come up big. So, of course, Icy back in the flesh. And for 88 Chambers, though, I do want to mention, look, you got beasted. But you have to stay together in tournaments like this, because the next time they come back, they'll be better. They will be improved. And that's the one thing where these teams make a really good run, and they seem to like try and find the next best thing. So, they're having a great event. They're doing well. And, I just hope players understand that you get better when you take that L and you come back.
And to that point, it's a pickup team, right? It was a last-minute couple of changes we went to forming this squad. You're going up against OpTic Gaming, who've been a team for so damn long, season one so damn dominant. You're not expected to win that game. You can't look at that and be like, oh, yeah, right, let's split. We lost to OpTic. Well, yeah, so does a lot of teams, right? Like, everyone almost loses that squad.
Oh, definitely. Mental showed us why he was an MVP in season 1, and we're going to take it to the main stage where he's being interviewed with Farouk. Kenny, one of my favorite players of OpTic Gaming. His composure, everything about him. His attitude is just amazing. Like we said earlier, he's huge for his team. What does he do to keep his team on top?
Oh, dude, he's just an all-around beast, right? And the one player that I've really got to know pretty close over the past couple of weeks has been Kenny, right?
Yeah.
And seeing his attitude towards the game has been fantastic. How much of a true competitor he is, and that's why we keep saying this is a very selfless guy. A lot of players across so many esports are so egotistical about stat lines, right? They're like, I have to have the most kills. I got to be the flashy one. Kenny's like, I don't really care about any of that. As long as we're getting W's and I'm doing my job, at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Oh, definitely. We're going to take a look in at our feature station. We are on map 3, tiebreaker map. We have Ghost Gaming against X-HITE. Trooper. What are we looking at in this game right now?
Well, right now, as you can see, Ghost coming into this tournament, they know that they have a lot to prove, so this is going to be important for them to win this match. And as you can see, they already have that 5-0 lead, looking very dominant against a team such as X-HITE, who came in here getting that pool, well-deserved spot, I may add, in the pool, and really making sure that they belong here. But right now, Ghost Gaming is trying to tell them, no, go back home.
Is X-HITE really this good? Okay, we saw what they did against Red Reserve.
Yes.
And they're on tiebreaker against Ghost Gaming. Not a lot of people make it this far. harder.
They're the real deal, man. I saw them out in the New York Regional, and they played really well. I was really excited about them. And just the fact that they got that LAN experience in for this event, I mean, that is huge. When I tell you that you need that practice coming into a tournament, just knowing where you guys are sitting, knowing who's next to you, and just getting comfortable. So I love this team.
I mean, map 3. Not really as close as you would. Let's be honest here. Ghost Gaming 5-1 in full control. But the one player I do want to give a ton of credit to is actually Noxious. Going back to that New York event that we had, Rob, like some of the things he was doing was just
he's filthy.
It's just that it was just unexplainable. It really was. Now though, this is where it gets tricky, right? You just run into the second half. You're 5-1 down. You just have to approach this one round at a time. Don't even look at the scoreboard, right? There's no point. You can come back into this game because as of right now, Ghost isn't even at match point. You just have to string 3, maybe 4. 4 would be perfect. But if you can string at least 3 rounds together, you put yourself at 4 overall. That's a doable comeback, right? But you cannot allow Ghost to go to 6 rounds. Like now, you need to win these rounds. Honestly, the quicker you can do it, the better as well.
Oh, definitely. And as I said before, Noxious, he took home a championship in Gears 3. He was a pro in Gears UE. Gears 4, he's looking to do the same. And that type of experience, he knows what it takes to take it to the top. I really want to see how things fare out in this pool.
Yeah, it's an interesting pool, that's for sure.
And it's exciting too because, as you said, he played in Gears 1, Gears UE, and it's interesting that he's able to go and through and be successful in all of these games, being able to adjust his play style to maybe the different intricacies of the new games that are coming out. So right here, as you can see, business as usual for him, back in gear here in pool play, competing with his team, showing that they belong here, like I said. Right here, though, Ribs, though, trying to make something happen there. As they're up 5-1, though, they did just give up that round to X-HITE right as we tuned in. So we could be in store for maybe a little bit of a comeback here. They still do have a round to give before it's really comes down to just absolute desperation.
Oh, definitely. We've seen Ghost Gaming have close games against Ronin. They're on map 3 against X-HITE, but we know that they're the real deal. Speedy and Rushies, they're nothing to take light. So, but these close matches against these teams is not essentially on the same level of Echo Fox and OpTic. Yeah. And we see them match up well against them as well.
Absolutely. I mean, they're just such fire. This team, especially on this map, we saw what they can do. But what I want to see people do against Ghost Gaming in general is just sort of throw something different against them. You see Rushy and Speedy doing their thing a lot, doubling up and stuff. It's kind of predictable in a sense that if you can just, send 3 guys to match them or play on the other side of the map, like why play into it? A lot of times, and I'm not just talking about Ghost Gaming, I'm just talking about, any of these matches and these teams, like come into the game and say, yo, on the 4th round, we're going to do a home strat no matter what. Or on the 2nd and 6th round, we're doing home strats. Because you keep your opponents on your toes. You have that down already where you can, your teammates don't have to scramble on that round. They already know what the plan is.
Right.
And it just bothers me. One thing I'm really begging for you guys is to bring out some of those different techniques, some of those trick strats that you can implement into Gears because, that'll really set you apart. Yeah,
and Speedy and Rushy, as you said, that's such a great tandem here for Ghost. And it's something that, putting them together, that chaos that they can create, they work so well together, and they're such fast-paced players that sometimes their opponents, it takes them a little bit to actually get prepared for them. So it's something that they could actually catch a lot of their opponents off guard. As you can see, X-HITE, it might be doing the same for them, but luckily enough, X-HITE was able to pick up these last 2 rounds.
No surprise right there for Ghost. You see the torque bow go up top control. I mean, that's always seems to be their go-to. I mean, when you have such talented power weapon players on your squad, I mean, you should play around it. And that's to our point, right? We've been kind of preaching about that all throughout this event. If you have players on your team that are good with certain weapons, put the damn weapon down, right? Let them excel with it, because
yes.
shocker, it helps.
Oh, definitely. So, enough about Speedy and Rushies. This Ghost Gaming, we know that when those 2 are on fire, they're great. But against these Tier 1 teams, such as OpTic and Echo Fox, does anyone else need to step up, or is this their recipe for success?
I mean, you look at what happened in New York, right, Rob? I mean,
yeah.
Ribs, he just was a non-factor, an absolute non-factor in that final. I love the guy to death, but you can't finish a grand final with what I think it was like 6 kills overall. It wasn't a lot. So for me, he needs to have that solid performance. And you go back to the Echo Fox days when of course he was on that squad. He was definitely more of a scapegoat. Like, there's no 2 ways about it. He was always the one that was thrown under the bus. And towards the end of season 1, he started having some fantastic games where he's putting up kills in that category. So for me, I feel like Ghost needs to make sure he's comfortable, right? That would be the #1 thing I would do. Make sure Ribs is comfortable. Make sure he's in a good spot. And then from there, I think the rest kind of is fantastic because you have such fantastic players on this roster.
Yes, Ribs is known everyone is to be the scapegoat, but there are some other consistent players on that team. You talk about Sleepy Time. This guy has been top 4 since Gears UE. He's placed top 4 multiple events. He's ended with multiple rosters. I mean, who else needs to pick it up for this team? Is it Identims?
I believe it should be Identims because, as you said, he did kind of have a little bit of a disappointing performance at regionals. And with him switching to Ghost Gaming from the former Splice team, now Ronan, it's definitely something that shows he does have a lot to prove now, especially here being the first major here of the season.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. Identim's had a lot of pressure on him yesterday, playing against his former teammates. And overall, if he could shake that off, he get back, back in business here and focus on the game, I think it's going to really boost their confidence.
I mean, you saw how emotionally draining it was, right?
Exactly.
Oh my God.
In a post-game interview, he was close to tears.
There was so much static. Like, it was uncomfortable a little bit to watch.
It was a crazy game. I won't lie. It was great to watch, and that's what makes Gears just so awesome as an esport. There's the storylines and the rivalries which we have are just so fantastic to watch, and I'm happy because I said at the very beginning when we went into the second half, you need X-HITE to string some rounds together, do it quickly. Guess what? They've done just that. This next round, this round we're watching right now, is the crucial one because if X-HITE win it, they get to that magic 4 number, and from there, Ghost Gaming, they're going to be thinking about it, Trooper. They're going to be like, oh, crap, are they coming back into this one? We better throw this one away?
Well, do they know that suddenly we are the ones casting them on main stage? Maybe the pressure's getting to them all of a sudden as they just drop the last 3 rounds as soon as we cut over to them. But an interesting move, though, that you saw the sniper was being placed there in the incinerator. If Identim's there, able to secure that weapon, wondering if he's going to try to rotate, take it to the top side of the map, or keep it down low and maybe look for his spots here. As you can see, only seconds away there, momentarily Ghost was about to pick up the domination there, but we might see if X-HITE's actually about to get in position with all 5 store.
And I'm curious to get your opinion on that. Sniper and Instant, of course, you have to talk about up top controller. Is that almost like a direct counter to that, do you think?
I mean, the sniper on this map is interesting, especially when you have those home hills. I would say bring it over to that main lane for the most part, where you can kind of watch both home hills. But overall, with the sniper, you want to keep your opponent guessing. You don't want them to know where you're at. A good sniper is always on the move. You don't know where he is. He's going to pop around the corner with right hand and catch you off guard. So you really got to play a different game when your opponent has it.
It's pretty exciting to see X-HITE make a little comeback right now. I mean, they won the maps, you know that they can hang with Ghost Gaming, but the X factor on this team, who does it have to be?
I mean, it's these rounds where I think you're going to see your X factors come out, right? You're down 116 to 44, 2-1 hill down. You're making a little bit of a comeback. This is where someone just has to take the game by the scruff of the neck, right? Whether it's Heza, or Noxious, Vital, Rosado, it doesn't matter, even Kraz. Someone has to come out and just change this round. And it's when they do that, that's what makes X-HITE so scary, because they get that energy, they get the energy up, they start yelling. It's a great team to watch.
Yeah, since 150 to 68 right now, I mean, mathematically, do they have to go for the triple cap?
Well, it's actually very interesting to be on this map this late in a round, because when you're starting to accumulate enough points, getting towards that 200, that button becomes so much more crucial. If a team has control of that hill, you're locked out of that room. You can't get that touch for at least 10 seconds. So it's something that you have to really pay attention to a lot of the time if you have people rotating up top.
And here's the thing. You don't need to go for a trip cap if you're X-HITE. You need to neutralize the E-hill. You need to do that first.
Right.
To your exact point, you have to worry about control tower. From there, you can put pressure on the home hill. The problem is, if you're not touching that E-hill and there's someone in top control, you're going to be in such a bad spot. Noxious now in a 1v2 goes down on the E-hill, and honestly, that round should be good for Ghost. They have a...
There it is.
Oh my God.
I was waiting for it, and it finally happened at the end. Perfect timing.
6-3, I mean, is this doable? Yes.
So, one key thing here I always like to point out, when you're at this is their last weapon that they can drop.
Yep.
They can't put another one up, so this one is going to influence the rest of the game. You guys want to keep in mind where, what do we want to do here? If you put a boom shot down, listen, the problem with boom shot is you're saying, 50-50, we're going to win that fight for the rest of the game.
For 4 rounds.
That's what you got to think. So, you talked about what power weapon do we excel with the most, or do you have a play where you can get these nades? Maybe you design a play where you grab those frag grenades, you toss them up top.
I was about to say, I like that.
To play for the torque bow, but look for those opportunities, and when you have that last weapon spawn, you really got to think about it.
And if you're sneaky here with nades, you can almost bait out torque, right? You can almost say, you know what, we'll send a 1v2 control. You let me know when he's going to go for it. I'll throw a nade up, and you get yourself an easy advantage early on in the round. And then of course you have that 1v1. We'll see how it's going to work out. Still 2v2 up top. Nades were picked up by Rosado. So the question is now, can it be useful? It doesn't. Oh, well, there was a kill on Ribs.
I think he brought him to the other side of the map, but the opportunity may have been there. And as we were talking about it, there's a 2v2 up top. but they went and matched it. And if we saw those nades up there, pre-nades,
Yep.
you know Speedy Rush is going to be there. Like, you know, that could really do it.
So with the spawn starting to slow down, it's starting to turn more into a little execution type game. If you're X-HITE, are you going head-to-head against Slaying Power?
Not at this stage in the game, I don't think. I think right now you need to definitely pick your spots here, stay poised, and make sure that you guys don't overstep your boundaries here. Nobody needs to be a hero, even though you're down 6-3. Right here, they do seem to be in good position. There are enough power weapons on the map to kind of dictate the pace of everything.
I think that's the key, what you just said. Everyone needs to realize you don't need to be a hero, right? You don't need to go out and try and make a 1v2. You don't need to force anything. The thing you need to do right now is make sure you have map control. Make sure you're set up for the second set of weapon spawns. And if you do get the numerical advantage, which they have right now, don't be afraid of putting pressure on the home hill. Even if you neutralize it for 5 seconds and pull away, all you're doing is giving yourself a bigger cushion. Or in this case, reducing that deficit, reducing the Ghost Gaming lead in points. And then all of a sudden you'll find yourself in the lead. You'll find yourself in a fantastic position of taking the round.
Yes, now Ribs, you know, previously of Envy, he's here on Ghost Gaming right now. You know, they're making some noise. Is this a good pickup for Ghost Gaming?
Yes, I want to say.
Okay.
It's a tough one, right? Like, he is such a quality player, and he's been playing for so long. Like, he really does have talent. But to my point earlier on, he has to feel comfortable. If he isn't comfortable, I feel like at times it's almost a 4v5.
I've watched a lot of situations where, you know, Ribs in a 2v1 with these guys, and his mentality is playing it a little bit old school in the sense that, you know, we play this 2v1 wide, you know, you smart Gears of War. And at times, that is the correct play. But in this game, sometimes you need to make the bonehead plays and execute them brilliantly, and you get rewarded that way. And that's sort of the pace of Gears of War 4 a little bit, is to play aggressive and get rewarded a lot of times. And when these successful teams, when these guys can do that, that sort of makes a difference.
I mean, people are saying that it's a bad thing that they picked up Ribs because he's not flashy, but his old school play style mixed with their Fast and Furious play style, does it make a great mix?
See, that's where it's interesting, right? If everyone's on the same page, yeah, it does. Yeah. But if you have players on different pages, if you have Speedies and Rushes flying in and they say, yo, Ribs, where were you? Why didn't you support us in that 3v3? And Ribs is saying, well, I played back because I'm playing my life. I put up my Lancer. Right. That's a problem, right? Then you have a 2v3, your 2 main Slayers go down, and Ribs is left now in a 1v3. That's where the problems occur. You have to make sure everyone is on exactly the same page.
Oh, definitely. X-HITE coming back.
Alive, man.
Listen, 4-6, is this doable?
This team's a lot of fun. I had the experience of playing with a good amount of these guys last year.
Really?
Team with Vital a little bit. Vital Sam, hilarious. Like the amount of energy that this team, I know that they're having fun together, and that's one of the key things. Heza is one of the funniest people in Gears if you have the time to chat with him or play with him. He's absolutely hilarious if you watch his stream. And you know, the team overall, I've known Rosado for a long time, and Noxious, you know, he had his shine in Gears 3, and Kraz is one of our favorite players at this start of season 1. How solid has this guy been? So I know that these guys are having fun together. So if they can just keep their spirits up, they can maybe steal this game.
One of the interesting things to know is if you just have a quick glance at that scoreboard, you'll notice that when we first joined this game, how heavily outslayed X-HITE were getting. It wasn't close at all. Now, I mean, you look at it, it's a lot closer than it was before, and that's exactly why they've started to make this comeback. Noxious. Oh, hello. That's exactly what we're talking about. Those nice little plays that he can make, and he gets control of Talkbow. And realistically now, with 3 players dead, with... Okay.
All right. They're doing it.
Bet. Right, okay. He's got the skills that will pay the bills, that's for sure. And this round should be another one in favor of X-HITE. So, Belly, you know, you ask, is it possible?
No.
Is it doable? This is where that seed of doubt is only going to grow if you're Ghost. Like, oh, you know, we had this massive advantage. What the hell's going on? But I'm actually surprised to see X-HITE not collapse and go for that trick back.
Yeah, and Ghost came into this event probably the most outspoken team coming into this event. Yeah. And if they're not able to finish this game here, this is really going to say a lot going into their later games throughout this tournament. You wonder if it's going to shake their confidence enough to where they're going to be able to pull out another game even without having to go to a 3rd game map in the future.
Yeah, I agree with you. They really need to pick it up here and then focus. And they're such like a, you know, to the book team, like Ghost Gaming, like they're here to play. You know, they're very focused. And as I mentioned, the X-HITE, man, they're having a good time and you know, keeping spirits. So it's going to be interesting how this one plays out.
Oh, definitely. I'll take a look at the stat line again. Vital Sam, he has a double-double. Double-digit kills, double-digit downs. Listen, if you've never met this man in person, he's about 5 foot tall, but he plays like he's 6 foot. This guy is doing everything he can to help out his team.
You want to talk about double-double real quick? Identives, 21 kills, 18 downs. Anything you can do, Vital Sam, I can do better.
There we go, and that's exactly what they need. They need Identives to step up as that 3rd player to just catch heat But is that enough for Ghost Gaming to hold off X-HITE?
Potentially. I mean, right now, look, they're going for that trip cap domination. X-HITE's lead is just completely diminished in front of their eyes, but Rosado staying alive, doing what he can. It was a 1v3. It's now a 2v2. He's not going to be able to be picked up, and Rishi's very, very close to ending this round right here. But hesitation will keep him alive. But at this point, Ghosts have been able to earn themselves the advantage. They have a 2-0 hill advantage, and if you're Rishi's here, you can just sit on this hill, force X-HITE to scramble towards you. Are they even going to be able to break the Yes, they are. Kraz. Okay, that was a flashy play. I like that a lot.
Crash sneaking up from behind there, seemingly. This is the kind of player that feeds off the hype of his team. He needs everybody to be on point right here, and that is definitely something that helped him right there. Able to sneak up from behind and stop that trip cap domination when he was ready to get that 1v1 coming out of spawn.
And I will say, note, the instant button has already been pushed. So when this gets a little bit later, when you see Ghost at 200 points, X-HITE don't have to worry about that. They can neutralize that hill with absolute ease and flood that home hill. And in actual fact, they've gone for the neutral very, very quickly. The kills are also coming in their favor. This is not over by any means whatsoever. Players falling like dominoes for Ghost Gaming, but Sleepy Time still alive, being a nuisance. So trip cap domination coming in now for X-HITE. Sleepy has to make the play on the D hill. Who's going to back away? It looks like that's going to be Kraz. Kraz stays wide. Looks like potentially they could just play for points. I'm surprised Kraz didn't even try and force that. End it right there. And that's what's going to happen if you give Sleepy too much time.
And that could finish off this round. That might have been the most pivotal 1v1 of this entire match right here as we get to this stage of the map. And you can see Sleepy Time still making sure that he denies everybody coming out of spawn, fighting another 1v1 here in a great position and able to do the cleanup there for Rosado. That was beautiful right there. As you can see, this might be the opportunity, only a few seconds away. And there it is with 4 down for X-HITE. Ghost Gaming finally wraps this up.
Rosado did not need to back up from that fight when he first jumped in. He needed to win that. That's what you need to play aggressive.
Exactly.
Play to win, and that's
gotta have there.
Yep.
Yes.
I feel like that was almost nerves.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of those gunfights where you know if you go for it and you lose, you just lost your team the game.
Yeah.
Right. But at the same time, if you're there and you don't go for it, and then Sleepy does that to you, you just lost your team the game.
But it's a do or die moment. The numbers was racking up. They had to get a triple cap to win. Make the most of your opportunity, and that's what separates players here from players there.
It is worth saying that was a hell of a play from Sleepy, though.
It was sick. I mean, he did everything he had to do, but Rosado had to make that fight.
Yeah.
You lose the fight, you lose the fight, but your guys are off respawn and everything like that. I mean, there's no excuse. You have to take that fight because you win the round if you win that fight. You know what I mean?
And Rosado, he's known to be an aggressive player when he has to. His 1v1 skills, I would bet on him. He's really good at it.
Very good.
So we need to see these players when it comes to crunch time to actually play the way they've been playing this whole time. But I would like to take a look at our pools, starting off with Pool A, the Pool of Death. Ghost Gaming, they are leading the way, 3-0.
It's worth mentioning, of course, pool play's done now.
Oh, yes.
Pool play's over. All of our pools are done, so we actually know by the end of that game, that was the last one actually that was played. We know our bracket now, and Ghost Gaming and Ronan, they come out 1 and 2.
Yes.
I think everyone kind of expected that, but I feel like for X-HITE, they were close, man.
So close.
They were real close. I mean, they're going to go straight down into that losers bracket, but I wouldn't write them off, man.
No.
If they get a little bit of heat, they get a little bit of momentum, I feel like they're a team that could go on a run.
Oh, they can. I love what I saw in their game against Ghost Gaming.
Right.
Now, on to Pool B. This pool, Allegiance 3-0, OpTic Gaming 2-1. Trooper, what do you have to say about that?
Allegiance just being impressive as possible here. And me personally, I think Shock might even be the MVP thus far in this event. The way that he's been playing has really spoke volumes here for his team. It has just been so well, the way that his team has been able to build around a lot of his plays, and it's worked out beautifully for them, as you can see.
Great insight. I love that. Pool C, one of my favorite pools. We see the dominant Echo Fox on top. They are 3-0. Supremacy right behind him at 2-1. Immortal Spawn, are you shocked at Fire and Ice's placement in this?
I don't know, man. You know, they went out to the West Coast and they had that regional land, and I thought like that was going to give them enough to come out here. You know, that as I harp on that practice, it's so important. So I'm a little disappointed. I'm a big Fire and Ice fan. Love that org, love that team, and Demo and his leadership. So I hope they can bounce back from that. But Echo Fox, such a dominant team.
Oh my God!
You know, from beginning to end throughout the game, like they're just so professional and poised. So.
Definitely. In Pool D, as we're taking a look at now, E United, they're sitting comfortably on top at 3-0. Benson?
I want to point out, right, that kind of score tally that doesn't tell you the true picture. Some of those games that United played, they were nail biters. They were too close. 3-0, I'm going to be brutally honest here. I think United got very lucky with that in terms of taking that #1 seed in 3-0 fashion. I think they need to really sit down as a squad and say, all right, boys, what is the issue? What is currently going on? How can we improve? If they all of a sudden kind of say, oh, you know, we 3-0 over the #1 seed, great, let's play bracket play. That can't be the attitude that they have. They have to add a little bit extra.
Actually, it's funny that you mentioned that all those games for United came down so close because it's really keeping them on their toes. If they dominated, they might be a little bit too comfortable going to later into this tournament.
That's a good point. Yeah, keep you in check throughout the match. The 2-1s, you know, more game time, more practice. So we'll see what they can do.
I'm excited. That now, of course, concludes all of our pool play matches here at the Gears Pro Circuit Dallas Open. Boy, have they been fantastic. We've had some amazing games, and Season 2 has kicked off with a massive bang. $300,000 to play for here at the Dallas Open, and still plenty of games to be played.